Shalom, brothers and sisters. Today's devotion is from 1 Kings chapter 20. And this chapter highlights the mercy of God on his people. It shows the mindfulness of God despite King Ahab's wicked nature. God showed that indeed he's the God of the hills. Ben-Hadad made demands from King Ahab. He didn't just ask for tribute of Ahab, but he requested for his wives, his children, and the loveliest of them. We see that the manner of expression that Ben-Hadad used was that of a proud spirit. He said, "All are mine." Here we see that sin provoked Ben-Hadad, and the Lord departed from him. And when the Spirit of the Lord had departed from him, then sin brought in this character of pride within him. We see in Hosea chapter 28 that Ahab prepared his silver and gold for Baal. So in this case, we could say that the requests of Ben-Hadad were justified. King Ahab knew that Baal would not help him, and he knew that God wouldn't either. So he submitted to Ben-Hadad. But Ben-Hadad's proud spirit requested for more, and Ahab humbly repressed and expressed himself and said, "Tell my lord the king, for to your servant the first time I will do, but this time I cannot do." But Ben-Hadad swore to ruin Samaria, and Ahab sent a rebuke to him and said, "Tell him, let not the one who puts on his armor boast like the one who takes it off." The point of saying this is that a fighter should not count his victories before his battle. And indeed, the Lord brought victory to his people. Despite Ahab's wicked nature, the Lord showed mercy to his people. And the Lord said, "Behold, I'll deliver this great multitude into your hand, and you shall know that I am the Lord." There was victory for the glory of the Lord. Amen. God gave victory to his people despite having a wicked king like Ahab. He showed grace. When we read, the Samaritans say that their gods are the gods of the hills. Therefore, they were stronger than we. But if we fight against them in the plains, we'll be stronger than they. The Syrians assumed that God can be limited, which is as we do sometimes in our lives, limiting God within specific situations, specific circumstances. But yet again, the Lord proved himself and brought victory to his people. And indeed, they knew that he was God. By the divine help of the Lord, the Israelites defeated the Syrians yet again. And I want us to think about the times where we have limited God. And I pray that the Lord enables us to always see his sovereignty in our lives, because indeed God has no limitation. God has no limitation. And in this chapter, it ends when we see that King Ahab made a covenant with Ben-Hadad. King Ahab had mercy on Ben-Hadad and even called him his brother. Ahab spared Ben-Hadad's life, failing to obey God to the fullest. He failed to obey the instruction of God, and there was a consequence. Because when you obey God in part, it means that we have disobeyed God. and God brought judgment on Ahab. But Ahab did this to himself through disobedience. He accepted the blessings of God without fully submitting to him. And this is something that we have to think about in our walk with Christ. And this calls us to a total obedience to our God. Amen. We shouldn't compromise, and we should obey God totally. We should obey God totally, and we should know that the victory belongs to God. Amen. I pray that as we read this chapter that you're blessed, and I pray that the Lord opens our eyes and the Lord enables us to obey him fully, and the Lord enables us to know that to the Lord there is no limitation, that indeed our God is the God of the hills. Amen and amen and amen. Be blessed. Amen.